Welcome to Prison Wife Radio, where we play all the hits while we all wait in our car for the prison to open its gates, which is actually just really a door, and to welcome us in with open carry arms as they try to decipher which one of us is bringing in the drugs. Spoiler alert, it's the COs. I'm your host, Myra, and if you're out there listening, show some love.
There are more than 2 million individuals incarcerated in the U.S. legal punishment system.
Prison wives are a lot like military wives, without all the thank yous.
I mean, they won't show, right? So we have to tell.
The system is most definitely the villain.
Your loved one shows up to medical unconscious? They ain't telling
He's been down
shit.
for 20 years. Yesterday he told me that his sentence had to be recalculated. Their mistake added 2 years.
There are more than 2 million individuals incarcerated in the U.S. legal punishment system. This is the story of the people who love them, involved.
100 days until my husband comes home. 18 years down, and listener, I'm pleased as a punch in the gut to report that after all that time, my husband has finally been cleared to participate in chemical dependency treatment. Was he in active addiction when he went in? Absolutely. Is he in active addiction now? No. So why now, you should be asking? Well, you know I'm about to give you a can of onions infested with worms. Let's open that can and pull back some layers. This will go quickly. It seems to me people think prison is about sitting around, and in close custody, it very much is. But most of the people who are incarcerated aren't in close custody and have to be doing something at all times. If they aren't working, they're participating in a number of programs the prison offers. I say offer like it's about the incarcerated individual, but in general, programs in prison are about money, more of it for the prison, and about discipline and control of the incarcerated individuals. It's called programming. Picture me doing a little razzle-dazzle with my hands. Programming. If you don't do it, you get in trouble. Of course, a lot of incarcerated people work. I mean, how else would the prison function if not for exploited labor? And if we want to be perfectly honest, how else would the U.S. function if not for exploited labor? The U.S. is basically the same old system that dates back to its unsettling roots. Planter class, enslaved class, poor white class doing the bidding of the planter class because anti-blackness and white supremacy. I'm going to interrupt myself here and very quickly say that this whole episode could be about this, but I am not smart enough to do it justice. I recommend you visiting Mariam Kaba's site, usprisonculture.com or interruptingcriminalization.org and make your way through all the essential reading. I also recommend reading Black Reconstruction by W.E.B. Du Bois. It's all there. And reading absolutely everything by Du Bois that you can. The U.S. is a racist country right down to its roots. Remember, not just a few bad apples. Rotten apples in rotten orchards in toxic soil. Racist, white supremacist soil right from its beginnings. Back to this specific story. Exploited labor. If you aren't exploited by working for cents an hour, then you have to go to school or participate in whatever kind of programming DOC needs you in. Notice how I didn't say needed by the incarcerated individual, because it isn't about the individual, it's about the prison and money and making the prison look good. If the prison looks good, they get more money, more promotions, and most importantly, more money. On the incarcerated side, programming earns you custody points, and refusing loses you points. Everyone's trying to get to camp. Camp is the least restrictive, and Supermax is the most. My husband started in Max and has done most of his time in Max or close custody. Restricted movement, few opportunities for socializing, all types of things determine which type of time you do when you start your time, your infractions, your crime, your escape history. But as you do time and program, you can start to move down in custody level from highest, most restrictive to less or least restrictive. Everybody who is convicted receives a J&S, judgment and sentencing. Guilty, not guilty, judgment, and then sentencing such and such months and other conditions. In my husband's case, his J&S says, must complete substance abuse treatment. Great, right? Everybody loves to say, no, it's good they take addicts to prison because they get treatment. This is right up there with the bullshit about taking people to jail to get mental health services. So now that my husband's short time, they've decided he needs the most intensive in-house chemical dependency treatment they have. But then as he was about to start that, they said, never mind that. We actually need him to start this other new program, i.e. we receive some grant money and need to fill some spots. He started, and I'm not even kidding, after 2 weeks of a 3-month program, they graduated him because the instructor is going to do a different program, i.e. a different grant, and needs to wrap it up. So there it is, listeners. Substance abuse treatment in prison. I mean, I guess you could say it's treatment because technically they are treating my husband like he's nothing. Not sure it's therapeutic, however, because it feels like they're treating him like a number. But whatever, he's short time, and nobody cares, really, because he's going to be out soon. But why, oh why, I can hear you asking me, did they wait for so long to, quote, treat him? Well, remember that DOSA program I mentioned a few episodes ago? DOSA people take priority over everybody, even pregnant women. So, if you have a good lawyer and they get you into DOSA, you're prioritized for treatment over a woman who's about to have a fucking baby in prison. Programming. So yeah, a lot of people end up waiting until they're almost out to receive any kind of treatment. You scared the shit out of me, Tads.
You keep saying short time, and I'm not sure the listeners know what short time is. I think they get hard time, long time, but have you mentioned short time before today?
You're right. I mean, you're wrong for scaring me like that, but you're right. I'll tell them. Also, tell Patty Squirts is in the hole with call restriction. Well, listener, since I just got the bejesus scared out of me, let me tell you a scary story. Short time, the scariest of all the times. Short time simply means he's getting out soon. While you might imagine this is the happiest time of his downtime, in reality, it's the scariest. This is the moment where he feels threats coming from everywhere. Cops could fuck with him, people can fuck with him. I mean, people can always fuck with you. A couple years ago, one of my letters was mistakenly delivered to my husband's enemy's cell. And of course, none of the cops know anything about it. But now my husband's enemy knows where his wife lives. Not ideal. But don't worry about me because I made friends with his wife and so we're all good. Because, I know where she and her son live. And that sounds threatening, but it's really not. It's just insurance. Like, if we all have nukes, nobody can use them. The point is, it could have been bad. And I guess it could technically still be bad, but I think it's all worked out. We never 100% know, though. And that is exactly why short time is terrifying. My husband has been down a long time. He did Supermax, Medium Min. Lots of people have come and gone in his time. He's got enemies, got a lot of enemies. But actual enemies, not the imagined enemies Drake likes to sing about. Anyway, that's short time. It's just feeling nervous that past issues may present themselves and jeopardize your release. P.S. A lot of you asked me for TV recommendations, and I have to say, Degrassi Next Generation with Jimmy, starring the one and only Imagined Enemies Drake, is next level programming. You're welcome. Speaking of bullshit treatment services, this is my brother's mental health court caseworker checking in on him. I have to take this. Hello? Hi, Mrs. Yes, we received the notice. No. He hasn't been able to find a therapist that takes his insurance. You said you would send me over a list of names. Right. Yes, that's the correct email. He's still having delusions, but we were able to get him into his apartment. I personally met with every single one of his neighbors. They all have my phone number if anything happens. Yep. Okay, we'll see you then. So that, listeners, is treatment in action. A 30-second phone call asking about all the things I'm doing to help him. Did she offer anything? No. It's a joke. So, like I've said before, pamphlets aren't services and programs aren't treatment. Listeners, I'm back and fresh out of a family council meeting that begged me to attend so that somebody could push back against some of the bullshit coming from other loved ones. A thing you need to understand about me is this. Will I fight for all incarcerated people to be freed? Yes. Do some of them irk me in ways I cannot fully explain? Also yes. This segment is called The Land Before Hard Time. Abolitionists don't like to play with reformists. Are we on the journey together? Unfortunately. Do we work together sometimes? Absolutely. Do reformists think that the system can be fixed? They do. Can it? It cannot. Let's recap today's meeting agenda with notes and see if you can spot the problems and potential issues between reformists and abolitionists.
Agenda Item 1. Chips in the vending machine. Agreed some variation would be nice. Agenda Item 2. Offender Health Plan. Visiting Health Plan Administrator assured families offender health plan was better than Obamacare. Agenda Item 3. Visit of prison was a success with offender family exclaiming that, quote, it's not at all what their loved one describes.
These agenda item notes were agreed upon and filed for record, for public record. Everything is great in Family Council Landia. So I have some edits. Agenda Item 1. Sure, let's get some variations, but let's not charge people so much money, or any money, or even better, let's just let everyone go home so they can save money and eat delicious meals that they want without lining CI's pockets. Agenda Item 2. No, it's not just like Obamacare, because with Obamacare, if I go to the doctor, I don't have to pay what amounts to 20 hours of work for an office visit copay. I don't have a prison doctor who hates their life and thinks I'm less than human who tells me I'm not experiencing what I'm experiencing. Actually, as a woman, this is a pretty similar experience. But when the prison denies an incarcerated individual an operation or a treatment, as is often done, who do you think they go to? Appeals to more cops who say no. I don't have to appeal to cops to get basic treatment. A friend of mine is currently helping a family get a lawyer because the DOC left their loved one's cancer untreated. He's dead now. This is not a one-off story. This is a pattern. So no, Family Council, their health care plan is certainly not just like Obamacare. Agenda Item 3. Yeah, your planned and carefully orchestrated public relations tour of the prison is exactly like what happens to your loved one in here when no one is watching. Sure, Susan, sure. You know that saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? It's dumb. The enemy of my enemy is also my enemy, with benefits. People who have a loved one incarcerated usually fall into a few categories: abolitionists, reformists, and vending machine chip advocates. Abolitionists can work with reformists when the reforms aren't expanding the prison industrial complex. We can also smile at the vending machine chip advocates, but when they propose some bullshit, we let them know. Reformists are friends, people we work with sometimes and sometimes enemies. Vending machine chip advocates,
I toured the prison and it's nothing like what my husband says it is. He's been exaggerating.
These are enemies. They are cops in plain clothes. The MWIs expanding the PIC one dumb fucking glowing review of the prison system at a time. They aren't worth the time of engaging. But reformists, we can play nice with, if it makes sense. Critical Resistance does a great job of breaking down reformist versus abolition approaches to the prison. I suggest you take a look. Give it to me, Surrey.
You have one text message from Tads. Tads writes, okay, not scaring you this time, but I don't think they know what a MWI is.
I spend so much time with you listeners, I am forgetting that you don't know all this stuff. I must give you a kudos because the comments and questions are getting quite specific and smart. So forgive me, sometimes I gloss over the basics. There are different words we use for people with incarcerated loved ones. MWI is met while incarcerated. These are the people who get together through writing or a friend knows somebody and introduces them. Then you got your MBIs, met before incarceration. That's my husband and I. There are many more, but those are the basics. Shows like Love After Lockup make all of us seem crazy, but honestly, it's like online dating. Statistically speaking, many of you are on OkCupid or Hinge currently chatting up some dude who's got a minimum 5 reported and or unreported sexual assaults, and you are excited to know him. Couples bond over mutual interests. So while some enjoy dates at their local museum, others enjoy long romantic walks in the street demanding the dismantling of the prison industrial complex. Some couples rekindle an old flame just like people do on Facebook every day. Some couples are lonely, just like people who find each other over the internet. You see, prison's name for that is just MWI. Most of the couples you see on shows about prison wives are MWI. Pen pals that turn into love. But not everybody. Many couples don't meet that way. Okay, I need to wrap up, but I promised I would share some Bill wisdom from the group. Like I said before, I don't share too much about the family. Group is group, and I mostly don't say anything about them. But I have Bill wisdom for you today. Bill, group member, formerly incarcerated, father figure to many of us in group, is the one who reports on bills coming down the legislation pipeline. Word on the street is they want a DV registry similar to the sex crime registry. Now, I'm not going to get into all of it here, but instead, if you want to know why a sex crime registry has been awful in so many ways that the family who originally advocated for it wants it dismantled, please check out the podcast In the Dark Season 1. We'll link it. As for DV registry, the only thing I can say about this is that cop unions will lobby hard against it because so many cops would have to register. See, a perfect example of sometimes your enemy is your enemy with benefits. Look at us abolitionists working on the same side of the aisle with cops. Okay, now I'm going to visit my short timer. I've loved the long time you spent with me today. Next time we'll talk about propaganda, what it is, what it aims to do, and how you can resist it. You're welcome, and I've been great.